On this video, I would like to try to hold these to about 15 minutes, looking at Christ in the Hebrew Bible through New Testament application. An Emmaus walk. We begin with the book of Genesis. We see, first of all, that Christ is the agent of creation. We begin at the very first moment, before time as we know it today could even be measured, the moment when God spoke the universe into existence. The opening phrase of the book of Genesis contains important milestones along the biblical path that leads to the Messiah. It reads, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth," or in the Hebrew, "Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz." I believe that John refers to these words as he develops his Christology in the first verses of the Gospel of John, with the phrase "in arche ein ha logos." In the beginning was the Word. John is making the forceful and radical point that Jesus Christ is eternal, existing from the beginning, before the material universe came into existence. He was face to face with God, the Father. He was fully equal, fully divine with God the Father. Then we are told in the next verse that all things were made by him. Panta diautuagenata, from the Greek. All things came into being by him. John continues, and without him, not one thing has come into being which has come into being. John is clearly referring to Genesis 1. The scriptures tell us that God said, Vayomer Elohim in the Hebrew, and here we see the king, Elohim, calling creation into being in Genesis 1:3. So Jesus Christ, as the eternal Word, the second person of the Trinity, is the agent John is teaching us through which God the Father created the world. In Genesis 1, the Hebrew reads, Yehi or, let there be light. John tells us that Jesus Christ is that eternal light, and that light shines in the darkness, and the darkness could not take it down or snuff it out. In John chapter 1, verse 5, it says that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness could not katelevin, meaning to comprehend as well as to take down, a double meaning. So Jesus Christ, the light, is referred to in John, referring back to Genesis, showing how that light in Christ continues to shine through the resurrection, showing his ultimate victory over sin and death and over darkness. In this sense, John sees the light created in Genesis as a foreshadowing of the direct intervention in history, culminating in Christ's own death, followed by his glorious resurrection. It's interesting, too, that John uses the word logos in Greek for Jesus Christ in the first chapter of his gospel, knowing, I believe, that it would remind his readers of the Aramaic word memra. The word memra in Aramaic means word, and in the Targum, which would be Aramaic translations of the Hebrew Bible. Targum Yerushalmi, for example, an Aramaic translation of the Bible, the word Memra is used interchangeably with God. So in the Aramaic Targum, when it says the Memra said, it means God said. So Jesus Christ, I believe, is seen by John as the eternal Memra, the eternal Word, hence God in the second person of the Holy Trinity, sharing equality with the Father as the agent of creation.